It's a highly debated proposal involving women's rights and abortion and how our state will address the issue moving forward. Proposal 3 seeks to create similar rights to those under Roe, which was struck down nationally by the U.S. Supreme Court. 7 Action News reporter Simon Shaquette shows us arguments being made on both sides and what the language in the proposal actually means.
I'm in favor of Proposition 3, so.
Which is the pro-choice?
Yes, I'm very pro-choice.
I just don't support the bill. I don't support the pro-choice movement.
As some Michigan voters have already made up their minds, campaigns both for and against Prop 3 are still making their case to anyone who may be undecided.
Proposal 3 is not the solution for our state. It goes too far.
This allows for the state to regulate abortion at the point of fetal viability.
Let's take a closer look at the proposal. At its core, it says, quote, "The state shall not penalize, prosecute, or otherwise take adverse action against an individual based on their actual, potential, perceived, or alleged pregnancy outcomes, including, but not limited to, miscarriage, stillbirth, or abortion. Nor shall the state penalize, prosecute, or otherwise take adverse action against someone aiding or assisting a pregnant individual in exercising their right to reproductive freedom with their voluntary consent." I spoke with constitutional law professor Jonathan Weinberg at Wayne State University to get his view on how Proposal 3 would be applied.
This proposal says that it's about pregnancy, basically, that it's about the ability to choose to have a baby, the ability to choose not to have a baby. The right to make and effectuate decisions about all matters relating to pregnancy, including but not limited to prenatal care, childbirth, postpartum care, contraception, sterilization, abortion care, miscarriage management, infertility care.
There are several points of contention between supporters and opponents. The first is when an abortion could be performed. Under Proposal 3, in most cases, it could happen up to the point of fetal viability. So what does that mean? On the state's website, part of the exact language of the proposal says, quote, "Fetal viability means the point in pregnancy when, in the professional judgment of an attending healthcare professional and based on the particular facts of the case, there is a significant likelihood of the fetus's sustained survival outside the uterus." The National Library of Medicine says that point is typically 24 weeks. However, it's important to note that Proposal 3 also states that an abortion could be performed after that point if, quote, "in the professional judgment of an attending healthcare professional is medically indicated to protect the life or physical or mental health of the pregnant individual." That brings us to another point of contention. What constitutes an attending healthcare professional? Professor Weinberg says the proposal doesn't specifically state a doctor must make the determination on viability, the physical or mental health of a mother, or perform an abortion, but it does stipulate the state remains in charge of who can do both to ensure safety.
Michigan does have the right to regulate safety.
Then there is the question of parental consent.
Could an underage girl have an abortion without her parents' knowledge?
The language is not 100% clear, but I think the answer is that no, she could not. This proposal does bring back the compelling state interest standards that the Supreme Court applied from 1973 to 1992. It upheld parental notification and parental consent statutes with one exception. There has to be some opportunity for a minor to go before a judge and say, "Look, judge, I'm old enough and mature enough to make this decision by myself." The court isn't talking about gender reassignment. It's certainly not talking about gender reassignment for children.
Also, if passed as part of the state's constitution, Prop 3 would prevent future legislation for waiting periods.
Telling women you have to go to a doctor and then come back and think about it and come back 2 days later.
If Proposal 3 fails, the Michigan Supreme Court will once again be asked to decide how to interpret our current state constitution.
If you'd like to read the exact language of that proposal, we put a link on our website, WXYZ.com. From Midtown, Simon Shaquette, 7 Action News.